Bev Buds.
Good morning, afternoon or evening, whatever time you're listening and wherever you're listening from. This is the Bev Buds. I'm your host, Trent Reardon.
I'm Daniel Gray.
And I am Kyle Wright. So what have you got? It's your turn to bring the bevs this
It
week,
is
Trent.
my turn to bring the bevs.
And it looks like, by the sound of that bag rustling, it sounds like you've been to Thirsty Camel.
So today's bev
Yeah.
is a Matzo's alcoholic mango beer.
A mango beer.
Yep.
Okay.
There's one for you.
Ah.
So Matzo's is a brewery over in WA.
Yeah.
They've opened up in about, I think, the year 2000.
Okay.
So good year. There's a mango flavoured beer.
Okay, Dan's trying to... Oh, you got it. A mango beer. I feel
That is twist tops, actually. So.
Oh, that easy twist. Well, it's an interesting choice of beer, Trent.
It is.
And what inspired you to get this one?
I've had it once before.
Oh, it's nice.
It's very refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, 1.2 standard drinks as well.
Mm.
These better watch out in summertime.
It is an easy drink.
A very easy
baby
drink.
in the summertime, that is where I'll be.
Yes.
So I like these particularly. I mean, I'm a big beer drinker, but I like these particularly because, I don't know, they appeal to everyone. I mean, you don't drink much beer, do you, Dan? But
No, this is actually way better than
It's
last
that's
week.
right.
really-
It doesn't taste like a beer, does it?
I know we're only 4 episodes in, but I'm going to say this is the best drink we've had on the show.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I reckon our goon was.
The Goon has a nostalgia factor.
It does.
And I also like that on Instagram we've been getting some suggestions for different things to try, like different alcohol.
That's right. So
Things to get. So next week it's going to be a fan submission.
that's right. A
Which is kind of
viewer's
scary.
choice, a listener's choice.
Yeah, because we've all done a bev.
Yeah.
So then now we're handing it over to the audience to see what bevs they recommend.
That's right.
So I'm quite keen for that. But this is delicious, Trent. Well,
Yeah.
good pick.
Good pick.
So Trent, I want to call you out about something.
You want to call me out about something? What have I done
It took
now?
me a whole
Kyle?
week. I've been stewing on it all week, and I've seen you. I've seen you during this week, and I didn't ask you because I wanted to call you out about something.
Right.
Last podcast, we talked about leftovers, and you talked about...
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about
We
leftovers.
did not talk about
We
leftovers.
did.
When?
We talked about...
Wait,
no, it's something...
Are you talking about the TV show or the...
No,
What?
the food.
There's
We
a
talked
TV
about
show called Leftovers?
Yes.
We talked about leftover food, right?
Oh.
You said...
Did we?
Yes.
I don't remember this.
Because I've been stewing...
I don't know what podcast you've been doing, Kyle, but it's certainly not Bev Buds.
Here we are. So leftovers came up in the conversation.
Okay.
Right.
And I thought about it when I was making leftovers, and
Yeah.
I put my leftovers in a takeaway
Mm.
and put it in the fridge.
Mm.
Right, 2 takeaways.
Yeah.
And you said that you put it in a bowl and glad wrap it.
That's
in the
right.
microwave, and you and Lauren have separate leftovers.
Yes.
Now, when you make food, like, let's say you're going to make a batch of like stir fry,
Right.
do you fill your bowl full, knowing you're not going to eat it all, and eat to the point where you're like, oh, I'm full, I'm going to wrap it? Or do you like make it and then put another bowl in the fridge, like the leftover bowl, or do you use the same, like what you've had that night before?
So, we cook...
Is this like a...
Jesus Christ. Who would have thought I'd be called out for this?
You're being called out.
I'm sweating.
Good. That's why.
So we cook the meal,
Yeah.
and then we dish it up,
Yeah.
and we eat what we've dished up
In the bowl.
in the bowl.
Yeah.
And then if we get to a point in our meal where we think we've had enough,
Yeah.
that goes in the leftovers.
A separate bowl.
Yeah.
Or the same bowl.
No, it's separate.
Okay. Because I was doing it, and I thought I do it backwards to you. I will portion myself and have a lot of and if I want more, I'll go and get the leftover bowl and scoop it in and have it. And I'm just trying to think if I do it backwards.
I just get like I made pasta the other day and just
Yeah.
like had a big bowl and like I just chucked the big bowl in the fridge and like...
So
did
I'm
it
the
later.
weird. I'm the weird one. Is what I'm getting from this.
Well, I don't think you should get to a point where you've eaten your meal
Yeah.
and you decide that you want some more. I feel like
You should just
initially
eat
when you
until-
portion it,
Yeah.
you should portion enough so that it'll satisfy your hunger.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Look, I needed to call you out because I was stewing on it all week. So Trent,
Yes,
it's Australia Day soon.
it is. Australia Day is just around the corner, but I want to reveal something to you that you
Reveal
may not be aware of.
Okay.
We're all living a life of lies.
What's that?
Well, as we said, Australia Day's around the corner.
Yeah.
And, on Australia Day we celebrate Australian things.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's come to my knowledge that some Australian things that we're celebrating aren't actually Australian.
What do you mean?
So I'll kick it off.
Mm-hmm.
Pavlova.
Yeah.
That's
Australian
not
classic.
Australian.
It is. What?
Well, you tuck into it on a hot Australia summer day
Yeah.
as a dessert.
What's pavlova?
Okay, hang on. You tell us what pavlova is.
Yeah,
What do you
Dan.
think it
It's
is?
an edible substance, I'm sure.
What would you have it with?
What ingredient? Like, what is it? Like, what is
Do you really
it?
not know what a pavlova
Has
is?
it got flour in it?
Okay, what else do you have in it?
If I'm thinking of it correctly, it's those little white things, is it? Or like,
A white. What do you mean? Describe it. You gotta like.
It's like a little. It's like a little biscuit.
Okay.
If it's clicking back to me, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Look, he's not. He's
And,
not wrong.
and it's just purely just tastes like sugar. I'm guessing.
Well, that's the meringue.
Oh.
You're thinking of the meringue, but that was a good guess.
They're pretty
Dave.
similar. It's
Yeah.
like a soft meringue, really.
Yeah, with just a shitload of like berries on it.
Yeah. So that actually originated in New Zealand.
Right. Okay.
Fancy that.
Yeah.
Another lie that we've been living is Russell Crowe.
What do you? What's he done now?
He's from New Zealand, right?
He is from New
Is
Zealand.
he?
He was born in Wellington.
Okay. What's his accent? What do you reckon his accent sounds like now? Then it must be just a puddle of mess by now.
Well, yeah, New Zealand, Australian, US.
Yeah.
The next on the list is Far Lap, Australia's greatest racehorse.
So, look, we've all been to the Melbourne Museum.
That's right, we've seen
the
it there.
hands, how tall he is. He's not Australian.
I've seen him stuffed.
We've all seen Farlap stuffed once or twice in our life.
So Far Lap is originally from New Zealand.
Right.
Can
okay.
you believe that?
What? Well, there you go. So New Zealand, the way this list has basically said, we've stolen all this stuff from New Zealand.
Absolutely.
We've plagiarised it.
Yeah, just like the reason we've been sent here, Cole, because we stole bread over in England.
Well, exactly.
Well, the last on the list is Keith Urban,
What's he?
Australia's greatest country music singer.
Let me guess. He's Chinese.
He's New Zealand.
Oh, no.
He's a Kiwi.
Really?
Can you believe that?
Okay. So we've got nothing at the moment.
We've,
Well,
we,
but do you know what we do have?
What do we have,
Shannon
Tom?
Knoll.
we have Shannon
And
Knoll.
Dan and I, a few Australia days ago, went and saw Knowlesy play at the pub.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
we didn't even see him.
We sat outside and it was a good day though.
Because the bar was like, it was so packed with people. So we sat outside the bar and listened to him because we couldn't be bothered dealing with a giant crowd of people.
It was like you go to a pub, you know how you have like your local act?
Yeah.
It was like listening to just a really, really good local act that was like top, you know, like
Oh,
he
yeah.
won Australian Idol. No, he came second.
Yeah. So, continuing on with the Australia Day theme, I just want to throw some interesting facts about Australia to you.
Okay.
So, let's go about size. Australia is the 6th largest country in size.
See, what do you know?
It's not that impressive.
No. What's the largest?
It's the largest continent, right? That's right. Yeah.
Its closest population for a US state is New York, which is 53 times smaller than Australia.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
You're really busting out the facts.
That's right. I'll give you another one.
You've googled some things.
I haven't. I know this just off the top of my head.
I have. You have dabbled in Australian facts before.
So, there are more than 150 million sheep in Australia.
Okay.
And only about 20 million people. So that's 8 sheep for every person. Do you think you could look after 8 sheep, Kyle?
Me personally.
You personally.
Here.
8 or A?
8.
8. I reckon I can give it a crack.
Well,
what are they?
no, well-
what do you feed?
Well, it's actually like, if we're talking this household,
Yeah.
you're going to look after 24 sheep because there's 3
Right.
living here.
Okay. Yeah. Can they go inside?
They can go wherever you want, Kyle. You just have to look after them.
Well, there you go, Trent.
There you go.
That's pretty interesting.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, Dave, what were you going to say?
No, that's a good.
No, what were you going to say?
I was just going. That's what's trending with Trent.
That is trending with Trent. There's the segment.
There's our new segment.
What's
Thank
the
you,
theme
Dave.
song for it, Trent? What's trending with Trent? So, last week, Dan did a top 5 list, and he told me...
Well, if we could salvage it.
Yeah.
Well, Dan may or may not have done a top 5 list.
If you don't hear from it, the audio may be missing.
But the top 5 list that he did was motorcycles.
That's right.
And why he likes these motorcycles. And afterwards, he said, Kyle, I want you to tell me your top 5 prime ministers of Australia.
Yeah.
To be specific.
Can you still name the last 5 right now?
Yeah.
Right now, go on.
Why do you want me to... Why?
Because I wanted to see it. Because we didn't.
Time's ticking, Kyle.
Go on.
We've got Buddy Morrison.
Yeah.
ScoMo.
Yeah.
We've got Turnbull.
Yeah.
We've got Gillard. No. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Abbott
Yeah.
and Rudd.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, that's it. It's not in the right order, but that's it.
No, you didn't tell me to list them in order. You said, what's your favourite?
I just wanted to see if you could still do it.
I can do it. I can listen.
You
I
know-
research Prime Ministers before bed every night, mate.
All
Now-
right, top 5, yeah.
So I've got 5.
Right.
And can I just say that finding Prime Ministers I liked was interesting. I was
Particularly when you weren't alive during the...
and I had no reason to like them. So some of the reasons may be a little bit out there. And can I also say that this segment is the only segment that we've carried through this podcast more than once.
And to the listener, this might be one of the more boring segments.
It may be. So I'm gonna throw them off pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go number 5. I'm gonna say my 5th favourite is John Howard. I like
5th favourite?
Yeah,
and you
5th.
put Johnny up that high?
Yeah, that high. Listen, I'll tell you why. I liked the drawings of him in the Herald Sun. I feel like he was drawn really well. Number 4, I'm going to say Tony Abbott, because he was brave enough to wear budgie smugglers
Right.
in public a lot.
And he also ate a raw onion on TV as well.
I personally wouldn't have that confidence to wear budgie smugglers, let alone on national news television.
As the Prime Minister of Australia as well.
Number 3, I've got Harold Holt, because I like that he went missing while swimming. And I believe I don't want to throw accusations out there, but the conspiracy theory it was aliens.
You think it was aliens?
I thought it was a submarine, they thought.
I think he simply just had enough of being Prime Minister and faked his own death.
He probably went to New Zealand.
He probably
cherished
did.
loved ones. So then moving on, number 2. I've got Bob Hawke, because he was in touch with the common man.
Yeah.
He had a beer.
Yeah.
He made beer. He brewed his own beer. And I think he was just down to earth. So it was quite obvious.
Yeah.
Now, number 1,
Right.
I want you two to have a guess. I want you two to think who would Kyle's favourite Prime Minister be. What's your guess, Steve?
You look like a Gillard fan.
My guess is an oldie.
An oldie. Okay, because there's one. I'll tell you the 4 I've said, because it's quite an obvious one who my favourite is.
Right.
So we've got John Howard, Tony Abbott, Harold Holt, Bob Hawke. There's one more.
I'm going to say Gough Whitlam.
Who did you say, Gillard?
Yeah, I'll go with Gillard.
It's Kevin Rudd.
Oh, of course.
It's Kevin Rudd, because he's the only Prime Minister to have his own segment on Rove Live. Do you remember his running adventures?
Yeah.
And that he was just satisfying to watch. He's just
And he was the downball king of Australia at one point. Let's just say that.
he was good. Yeah, he was just good. So Kevin Rudd is my favourite Prime Minister. There you go, Dan. I answered your top 5 list.
That was a real...
Were you on the edge of
Yeah.
your seat? Now,
So Kyle, do you have top 5 to give to
I
anyone?
do. I've got a top 5 to give you, Trent.
To me?
Yeah, I'm giving it back to you.
Ooh.
Now, I want you to find, for next podcast,
Right.
the top 5... I want you to list your top 5 most, satisfying moments or feelings in life. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Right?
Okay.
So, an
Yeah.
example of that is,
Yeah.
once you finish a uni assignment,
Yeah.
you've got 20 tabs open, and you close all of them,
Yeah.
and it's fresh. You feel you've submitted the assignment, you've got nothing, your computer's clean again. You've got all these, that's a satisfying moment for me. So I want you to find your top 5 satisfying moments or feelings in life.
Consider that done, Kyle.
Wait, before we go on, is that a thing? Did you guys in uni have to open that many tabs?
Yes.
Just to research something?
Because some assignments you had to find
Readings,
and 30
references,
and stuff like that.
and then you've got all your crap open, and then you submit it, and then you just this is the best feeling.
I'm worried if I'm doing my stuff wrong.
Dan just got, he hasn't even turned his
I just
computer
make up
on.
whatever I want. I reference myself.
I can't say much today. I was doing my diploma and then got distracted and started watching Bondi Rescue on my computer.
So I heard some news the other day that, unfortunately, Ricky Gervais has had his dying wish denied.
What's his dying wish?
So his dying wish was to be fed to the lions at London Zoo.
Not the gorillas.
So London Zoo promptly denied him, saying that he'd probably be a bit too gristly for the lions.
So he wanted to give himself to lions.
That's right.
Do you reckon he's serious about it?
I think so.
Yeah.
He says a lot of things.
So my question to you, Kyle, is what is your dying wish if you were to think outlandish like that?
I probably want to get made into one of those tree orb things. You know those things where you can like get planted into a tree?
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
feel like it's kind of ridiculous, but like I get it.
You mean when a tree's planted?
You like
you
get
get buried.
you get put in like this biodegradable like egg,
Mm.
and then they plant you, and then the tree like the egg's made out of like stuff that the roots can attach to, and then you flourish the tree.
I wouldn't want to be a tree.
You want to be a tree?
Nah.
Well, call me crazy. I think being buried in a coffin's a bit overrated.
Yeah.
So outlandish, I do that, or I'd want that thing where you get like cremated and made into a diamond.
What?
What about you, Trent?
Dude,
What would you
the
want?
diamonds look horrible.
I think stuffed and put into a museum.
Yeah.
As like, this
exhibit?
was what a human was like in the whenever I died.
So you'd want your own exhibit of like.
I would.
You wouldn't want to go with like the historical people.
No.
Or like the.
I'd want to be in my own room.
Would you be naked?
Well, I think you'd have to be.
Yeah. So people can examine the human specimen at the time. What about you, D?
For me, I feel like I'd want to get cremated. I think, and I'd want my family to all go out for dinner, or spend nice time together. And afterwards, just get told they just ate my ashes.
That one takes the cake.
I love how you knew what I was going to say.
Oh yeah, I thought it was actually going to be your ashes are in like the pepper grinder or something.
So, speaking of like world news, if you'd call that Ricky Gervais, I'd say I'd class it in world news. In England this week, I was reading that there was a few burglars that got arrested mid-robbery after accidentally butt-dialing the police.
What?
So, I'll read you an excerpt I got from this article. So, on Wednesday, Staffordshire Police in England received an astonishing call. On the other end of the call, there were two men audibly discussing the robbery that they were in the middle of committing. So, it was a butt dial. And it was these 49 and 42-year-old guys that were in the middle of this robbery of this house, and one of them butt dialed the police, and they caught them.
Imagine being the dispatcher, like
this is the easiest thing we've ever done.
I myself have some world news as well that I've come across. So there's been a Danish kids show that has aired recently. It's made some headlines because it features. It's a claymation.
Claymation. Yeah,
it's a
so like
claymation.
Pingu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Featuring a man with a magic penis.
Go on.
So the show's aimed at kids 4 to 8 years old.
Okay.
What does his penis do?
Well, it's a very, very long penis.
Right. Okay.
And sometimes it does good things, and sometimes it gets into a bit of mischief.
And what?
So
okay, is there multiple episodes?
There are multiple episodes.
Right.
So, but I mean, one thing I want to know is how does a TV show like this, but aimed at preschoolers, about a man who cannot control his magic penis, get past like the pitch stage?
Yeah.
How do you even go to
The
a
animating
board
stage of like watching this thing get made.
Yeah.
Someone must have really wanted this thing to get made. I'm kind of tempted to give that a watch. So how's your bed been going, guys?
It's been going great. Like I said about the Byron Bay Brewery that we had the other day, I didn't know whether I liked that one because we had Goon just before it.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I like this one just because it's 48 degrees in this room and this is slightly cold.
So it's Matzo's mango beer.
That's right. So this is their little blurb on the bottle. Matzo's mango beer combines full fruit aromas with a subtle sweetness and dry finish. Brewed to taste just like a tropical broom time holiday.
Right.
We
all love Broom.
We all love Broom. We've been there 1,000 times, haven't we? A shout out to Tom while we're at it.
Tom, well, I wouldn't call Tom a Broom local though, would you?
Oh, it's vegan friendly just for you, Kyle.
That's good. That's very good, isn't it? Now, can we wrap this thing up soon because I'm sweating?
Yeah,
Is there anything else you
100%.
want to cover on the potty, Trent?
I don't think so, Kyle.
No?
I think with this heat, it can wait.
Dan, have you got anything else you want to cover on the potty? Anything you want to... Any grievances you want to clear?
Any grievances?
I was asking him something.
Oh, you know what? I want you to do one more question.
One more question. That's highly irregular.
That's
But I
fine.
was
Here we go.
I couldn't resist a day. Now, do you want to pick it out, Trent? You can pick it out.
Sure, I'll figure it out.
All right. Dan's requested one more question, but we're going to chew through these.
Here we go.
Oh, okay, go for it.
This is from Kristen Wright.
Yep.
From Mornington, Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
If you could tell your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Got one, but I'm not going to grieve it on the podcast. My 18-year-old, I just feel like when I was 18, I feel like, you know, when you're in high school, you've got a lot going on. You've got, you know, especially the last like couple of weeks of year 12, you've got like, there's parties, there's, you know, there's people that you won't even see.
Yeah, right.
The last couple of weeks because they're doing stuff, you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many people. I just feel like my 18-year-old, I would just be like, slow down and try and like sort of savor that last couple of weeks. But what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Well, I think for me personally,
You still have friends.
and I'm sorry.
That's his advice. That's Trent's advice.
I'm sorry for anyone listening who this might affect, or they may even think differently. Who knows? I would say, don't go to uni. Because if I look at where I am right now, I'm 25. I work at Woolworths and I've got a uni degree that I'm doing nothing with. So now I'm stuck with this Hexted, which I'm happy to live with because that's my choice.
That's your doing.
But if I could speak to my 18-year-old self, I'd say,
stop.
Don't.
And what about you, D? What's your advice to your 18-year-old self?
Stress less.
That's too broad. What does that mean? No 18-year-old.
I was stressing.
No 18-year-old is going to listen to the advice. Stress less.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go with yours. Oh, enjoy the last 2 weeks of high school. That was your.
Like savor the last couple of weeks. Like just you're not going to.
But like like when you finish high school, you're like, oh, what's going to happen next? Like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
like
it's not.
I think another thing I'd say to them is I'd be like, hey, 18-year-old Trent, in 7 years' time, you're going to be in this really hot room recording a stupid podcast.
Wanting to get out.
start the podcast earlier.
Well, final consensus on the beer, gentlemen.
I loved it.
I'm
happy to go back to it.
How many thumbs up would you give it, D?
16 out of
16 out of 13.
Yeah, we just change it up every week, aren't we? It's just like,
No.
We need consistency.
The Bev Buds official rating
is thumbs up.
is 13 thumbs up.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
how many thumbs up out of 13 do you give
I
it
give it
then?
11 thumbs, so I only cut up 2 thumbs.
What does it lose thumbs for?
Not being warm enough.
You
not being
can't say that.
Not being cold enough, I mean.
You know what? Next week, let's give Dan a warm Bev.
We'll put his in the oven. We'll have ours in the fridge.
What would you give it, Trent?
I love this beer. Right. I think it's super refreshing.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, as I said earlier, I'm a big beer drinker.
Yeah.
But the fact that it doesn't taste like a beer is a plus.
Right.
So I'm going to give it a 12 out of 13 thumbs up.
Ooh, okay. Because I've never had it before. And the minute I sipped on it, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And my heart said give it 13 thumbs out of 13.
Ooh.
But
Is this called like a golden thumb or something?
Is this the first 13 thumbs up?
I really like it. But I can see people not liking it.
Right.
But I personally, I'm going to give it 13 thumbs up because I was surprised. Listen, I was surprised by it. You got me.
Yeah.
You beat me. You broke me down, Trent. I feel like there's nothing I can complain about. We're in this hot, sweaty room, and this is the best thing in this room.
Yeah.
So
it gets awarded the first golden thumb.
it gets
First
a golden thumb. Thank you, Trent. This is a perfect beverage.
It is. It's a great summer beer.
Perfect for today.
Perfect summer beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we've come to the end of our podcast.
We have finally.
So this is podcast number 4.
Yes.
So we're still going, which is unbelievable.
When we get to 10,
Hopefully, if everyone hears this properly, the audio worked this time.
when we get to 10, we're a real podcast.
You think 10's the benchmark?
I reckon people drop off before 10, and I reckon we need to keep. Once we get to 10, we're in the A game, you know.
Right.
It's like our gaming videos.
Sure. Anything's like them, Dan.
So yeah, as we say every week, if you've got anything that you want to get off your chest, just swing it past our way, and I'm sure we won't open your message.
Ask us anything.
With an asterisk. Take care.
And good night.